Hello and welcome to the Low Carb Mag's look at some of the best blogs around. Today I'm joined by Melissa, who will go into introducing herself in a minute because she's got a very interesting story to tell. And of course, this is all about some of the best blogs that you'll find anywhere on the internet that provide you with a huge amount of brilliant information. Melissa, welcome. It's been lovely to find out about you and finally get to speak with you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much.
Excellent, excellent. So let's dive straight in. Now, you've got a very comprehensive blog. Who is it you have in mind when you are writing things that you put on your blog?
Absolutely. Well, I work with men and women, and the main focus of the work that I do with people is when they're having digestive issues. So my blog really is geared around that. I have people that come to me where really what we're looking at is like a root issue of gut dysbiosis. However, what they come to me with is I am feeling really bloated, or I am, having really bad digestive issues like constipation or diarrhea, or, my stomach just does not feel right when I eat certain foods. So they're coming to me with more just these symptoms of what's kind of this more underlying root cause. And also I see people with like really bad energy issues. And this is also really linked again back to what's going on in the gut. So they're telling me like, it's really hard to get up in the morning, or I have fatigue in the afternoon, or you're like feeling that tired but wired feeling in the evening. So, they're just challenged with that. What's really going on? Why is it, I feel like I'm getting ample sleep, but why am I feeling this way? Another really big thing that I see people with and that I focus, both my blog and my work on is people with mood issues. So again, we're looking back at what's the root cause, and we're looking at the gut. So, but the correlation isn't really linked a lot of the time. So I'm helping people kind of put these two together. So that's really who I'm looking to work with and who really finds me.
Excellent. Now, it might sound a strange question, but why did you start the blog in the first place? Was there a sort of a personal reason that sort of you had for putting the information out?
Yeah, so absolutely. And I think with many practitioners and healers, that's how it really begins, is like your own healing journey. For me, when I was in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, ulcerative colitis, at the same time getting diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I was seeing Western medicine doctors. There was no correlation. Like I just mentioned, no one was connecting the dots between the two. I was being told, here's a steroid for, your ulcerative colitis. Here's some antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication for your mood. And it just didn't sit right. It felt really not like that couldn't be the only way to heal my 23-year-old body. Like, how did I get to this place at such a young age when I wasn't feeling so terrible just a few years prior? It felt like it was pretty quick that these feelings came on. So my blog really, and the work that I do, my coaching practice, it's really stemmed out of just the journey that I've been on, but also like the information that I didn't have, and even though that was only about 10 years ago, that was still, the internet's just grown so much now. And so to be able to like synthesize information, put it together where people, like I want to put information out there that you can use easily in your day-to-day life. It's not bogged down with too much medical terms. It's something that makes sense for the time of year. So giving information for what's actually happening in your life at that time, and how to easily incorporate holistic either self-care practices or food. There's a lot of focus on anti-inflammatory foods. So I am a huge proponent of eating low carb and eating paleo. And then also just, what are easy tips on, different ways to kind of keep the toxic load in your life down, because all of this is what's creating the inflammation in the system, and especially in the gut.
Excellent. So, obviously you cover quite a lot of information there. Are there some subjects that really, set you going?
Well, sometimes it gets kind of medical and nerdy, but I love learning about the gut. I think it's amazing. The amount of different cells and all the different flora that's in there, so that you have both our good bacteria and our bad bacteria. And it's this fine balance between the two that really helps create this overall healthy system. And so when that goes out of balance, out of whack, then that's when we start to see all those symptoms that I was mentioning that people come to me with, or they'll look at my blog to kind of see more information on. So I really love like learning more about like all the weird bugs that are growing in our body. I mean, it's sometimes like, who's kind of like, what's more, like the bugs, or is it us? And I find that fascinating. So I kind of,
Super. So again, with all that information there, who would you say you can help the most?
I can help the most, I think, somebody who is really just kind of like, I feel like for the most part, I have a fairly healthy diet. And yet I'm still having these symptoms of not feeling like I feel my optimal best. Because that's how I felt. I was like, I feel like I'm fairly a healthy person. I'm not eating McDonald's every day. I'm not, smoking and drinking a ton, but I am not feeling well. And so looking at somebody who is, kind of got this sort of healthy lifestyle, but they just don't really know where to go. And when they go to the doctor, they get their blood work done, they get a physical, and the doctor's like, here, stamp of approval, you're fine. And they're like, but I don't feel fine. Those are the people, because what I have found is that there's an amazing source of functional testing out there where we can get diagnostics on what's really going on, either with the adrenal system or what's going on, like actually doing blood work that's looking more at a functional levels, so that you are feeling more your optimal. Because sometimes a doctor goes and looks and says, well, you're not dying, so you're okay, right? Like you're not in this place where you're totally at risk for huge disease. But the problem is that a lot of times we're on that road and we just don't know it. So those are the people that I really like to help the most, because they already tend to have like a understanding of what living a healthy lifestyle is about and why it's important. And they just need more tools. So sometimes it really is looking at, they're wondering why they're eating certain foods and they think they're healthy. Like they could be eating gluten-free grains and not realizing like that could be causing them inflammation. They could be eating, certain cruciferous vegetables and not realizing that could be the reason why they're having bloating. The next, actually, you asked me what stuff gets me kind of jazzed. Genetics, epigenetics is like totally the next wave that we're on. And it's just such a like growing field of information, constantly changing right now as we learn more and more. But it's amazing what you can do just doing a simple either Ancestry.com or 23andMe and get your, get the raw data, run it through something that you can find out what your SNPs are and see like, what are you at the propensity for? And it's just gathering more information. I just find it fascinating, the data that we can gather through these different types of diagnostics.
Excellent. So obviously there is a lot of information there. So I guess we'd better tell people where they can find out about it. What's the address of your blog?
melissapatruno.com. Patruno spelled Patruno. And you can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram, same handle at melissapatruno .com, just at melissapatruno.
Excellent. Anywhere else people can get hold of you?
Those are the best places. And there you can see my blog. I have lots of great information on how to be eating right for your body. You can also find out how to get in touch with me. And also have, I post fun stuff on social media too.
Super job. So if people want to get in touch with you to work with you personally, that's the place to go.
Absolutely. There's a contact page. Just go there and you can actually just schedule a consultation with me right there. Excellent.
Well, thank you for all that information. It's been lovely chatting with you.
You as well.
With what you've given us, we better have you back again for maybe a longer conversation. I look forward to that.
Yeah, me as well. Thank you so much for having me.
That's been a pleasure. Thanks very much.